Welcome to Summarize Science. Today, this episode explores a fascinating study about why phishing detectors often fail in the real world despite having nearly perfect test scores. Phishing is a constant battle where attackers try to trick people into giving up sensitive information by faking legitimate websites. Most modern detectors use AI to look at specific features of a website, but there is a significant gap between lab performance and actual security. The researchers found that attackers can easily adapt their websites to slip past these digital guards using very simple changes. This study introduces a new way to measure security based on the cost an attacker has to pay to change their site features. They looked at how much effort it takes to evade a filter and where the most vulnerable points are located across different AI models. It turns out that not all website features are created equal in terms of how easy they are to manipulate. Some things, like the URL structure or specific HTML text, are very easy and cheap for a scammer to change in just a few hours. Other signals, like the age of a domain or its global traffic patterns, take weeks or months of effort for an attacker to fake. Table 1 in the paper illustrates this by categorizing features into surface, semi-domain, and infrastructure levels based on the time they take to modify. In many cases, an attacker only needs to change a couple of these cheap surface features to become invisible to the AI. The study tested several popular AI architectures, including random forests and the powerful XGBoost. To evaluate these, the researchers built a cost-aware framework that simulates how an attacker would actually search for the cheapest way to win. Figure 1 shows the evaluation pipeline that calculates the minimal evasion cost, or how much work it takes to fool the system. Surprisingly, all of the tested AI models showed the same fundamental weaknesses when faced with a budget-conscious attacker. Even the most complex AI models tended to rely on the same easy-to-change features to make their final decisions. This means that an attacker's success is governed more by feature economics than by how complex the AI model is. The researchers discovered that over 80% of successful evasions focused on just 3 specific low-cost features. This concentration means that the attack surface is much smaller and more predictable than many experts previously thought. If a website can be made to look legitimate with just 1 or 2 small tweaks, no amount of AI complexity will stop a determined attacker. As shown in the survival curves on page 10, most AI models lose their effectiveness almost immediately as the attacker's budget increases. Simply changing the AI model itself did not significantly help if the underlying data remained easy to manipulate. The findings suggest that defenders should stop focusing on making AI smarter and start making the features it looks at harder to forge. To recap the important points, phishing detection is currently too reliant on surface-level clues that are cheap for criminals to change. Attackers are efficient with their time and will always take the cheapest path to avoid being caught. Because most AI models converge on the same easy clues, they all share the same robustness ceiling that keeps them vulnerable. In the future, this work could lead to detectors that prioritize signals that are much more expensive for attackers to acquire. By prioritizing infrastructure features that require months of history, defenders can make phishing campaigns far less profitable. This represents a shift from a purely technical arms race to a defense strategy based on attacker economics. If the cost of evasion is higher than the reward of the scam, the attackers will eventually be forced to give up. It is a smarter way to protect the web by understanding how attackers actually operate in the real world. Thanks for watching Summarize Science, and remember to double-check those links before you click.